Welcome back to the Blonde Majority podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Katie.
Katie, how was your week?
It was wonderful. How was yours?
It was so stressful that on Friday, every time I went to the bathroom, I just stayed there for a bit. I scrolled on TikTok and I saw this amazing figure skater of the name Alyssa Liu, and she won gold in U.S. figure skating. And the last time someone did that was over 20 years ago. And this girl, she's 20 years old, so she's the first person in her lifetime to ever do that.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize we hadn't won gold in a while.
Yeah, just for the figure skating free skate.
I guess what country is notoriously good at that?
I guess Russia, China.
Oh.
I don't know if we've won gold or bronze in the past, but this is the first time. Or sorry, silver or bronze in the past, but this is the first time we've won gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that. I just assumed America was always winning the gold.
America's the best country in the world.
That's how I view it, except for maybe hurling or something random like that.
No, America's the best country in the world, period.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the backstory on her? Because she's pretty interesting, isn't she?
Yes. So Alyssa Liu, she's from the Bay Area. She was at the Beijing Olympics in 2016, and she decided to retire. She was not having fun anymore. She missed her friends. So she retired at the age of 16. And then...
Could you imagine?
I know. And then later she decided to come back, but she wanted to do it on her own terms. She was going to what she wanted. She was going to skate to the song she wanted, and it paid off. She did amazing. And she said in interviews post winning gold or before winning gold, she said, "I'm not here to win a medal. I'm here to show people what I can do."
Yeah, it seemed like she was just happy to be there.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was like getting teary-eyed because she just looked so happy and she looked like she was having so much fun. And then she won and she's amazing. And we just love her. And in all of her post-skate interviews, she's just talking about how she had fun. It's about the journey. The medal doesn't mean much. It's still about the journey and her story. And she's amazing.
Her dad immigrated from China, from the CCP, right?
Yes. Her dad immigrated. He was part of the Tiananmen Square protests.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. And now he lives in America in the Bay Area, and I think he's also an immigration lawyer.
Oh, interesting. And now he has a daughter who won gold, which is pretty freaking cool.
And I just love that Alyssa, she's just talking about her experience as a figure skater Olympian and her journey, and she's not talking about anything political or anything activist. I'm sure she has thoughts and opinions. We don't know what they are because
which is kind of nice.
She's just focusing on figure skating and her, health and well-being.
That's nice because there have been other athletes, especially at this Winter Olympics, that have decided to use it as more of a activist platform, which I suppose they're able to do, but they're not the ones winning gold. It doesn't seem like. So I saw that one figure skater who came in 13th place. And listen, I don't want to disparage that. Getting to the Olympics is super hard.
Yes.
And a huge accomplishment in and of itself. But
yeah. It's just hard to watch these athletes who are representing the United States of America on a global platform where people from every country on earth can and probably is watching, and they're just trashing on the US, and then they fumble, it's very hard to see when someone trashes America and then they
we're all supposed to watch and root for America and have this sense of pride in our nation, and then there's people bashing it. It doesn't sit right.
It just really hurts. America is the greatest country on earth. Alyssa Liu and Amber Glenn, I don't remember her last name, but I believe her first name's Amber. They're both alternative, and I think the Amber girl, I think she's a lesbian, I don't know. But Alyssa Liu, she has funky halo hair, she has a piercing on her inner lip, and guess what? In America, you can dress like that, you can look like that, and be an Olympic level figure skater. You don't really see many people from
some of these other countries,
from China, Japan, Korea.
Yeah, you'd probably have your butt handed to you for that. I would think that the piercing would be dangerous in figure skating if you fell, but maybe I'm just a paranoid freak.
That's her choice as an American.
Exactly. Yes, I'm just thinking more practically. But then again, I don't think I could ever be a figure skater doing this.
No. I would get dizzy.
All of it. I'd be scared I'd fall and really hurt myself. But
yeah. Anyway, she's amazing. And then there's this Olympic free skier. Her name's Eileen Gu. She goes to Stanford, and I think she walked for Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Oh, I don't think I realized that. She's also a model. I think people had said that, but I didn't put it together.
Yeah. And then, but she's American, but she is representing the Chinese Communist Party. And China does not recognize dual citizenships. So she can either be hold Chinese citizenship, or she can hold American citizenship. She cannot be both.
And there's something really, oh my gosh, this is going to take me back to a few years ago when I wrote a paper on this. I want to say it's Article 7 or Article 11 in whatever their version of a constitution is, that says if you're a Chinese national and the Chinese government asks you to spy for them, you must do it.
Really?
This is not verbatim, but it effectively is like that. I'm going to have to go look it up after this. So it means that anybody who is a citizen of China has allegiance to China. And we all have heard about different Chinese spies ending up in American corporations and stealing proprietary information, then taking it back to China. Some of them have been tried and found guilty on this. But what happens is then China gets our intellectual property, but they didn't spend the millions or billions of dollars in research and development costs, so they're able to get it at a fraction of the cost effectively. So, some ugly stuff there. I don't really like that. You ask me, but my mind's always going to the worst possibility. Also not a fan of the Canadian curlers, which I have never been more interested in curling until this past week with the cheating scandal. For those of you that don't know, basically, I guess, allegedly, this guy on the Canadian team, or maybe Canada together, was a notorious cheater, right? And I guess there's a rule where I think they call the thing a stone.
Yeah.
And you're only allowed to touch it once. And then once you stop touching it, you can't touch it again. Well, I don't know if it was the media or Sweden, but they all knew of this guy's reputation. So they set up a camera at the perfect angle and caught the guy. Like, anybody can watch it. After he lets go, And so then this guy has come out and said, oh, I was set up. Bro, you're in the Olympics. Did you not think? Instead of being like, but what I'm confused about, and that I haven't seen online, and maybe the Olympics took a step, what are the actual ramifications from the Olympics? I would think that would disqualify you, right?
Yeah, I would think so too. That's kind of crazy.
Right? I see this uproar online, but what was the remedy here? You should probably be banned. And then I think the women's team was doing it too. The Canadian women's team. They didn't have the same angle, but so then people were trying to insinuate that it was a Team Canada problem.
Damn.
So I don't know.
Crooks up north.
And the guy got so angry too. His reaction, the Canadian guy, buddy, you just got caught with your pants down.
America's the greatest country on earth.
But I will say the Swedish guys, thank you for that. That was quite fun to watch. I feel like that's all there is on the Olympic side.
I love watching all the clips on TikTok. Team USA for the win. America's the best country in the world.
Same.
Every time I watch the Olympics, I get so patriotic. I just feel so proud to be an American. I do feel a little bad. Maybe I could have been great at athletics, but...
What's on your shirt?
Oh, it's a James Dean.
James Dean, like the...
A James Dean. I know, I saw you checking it out. His driver's license. Or it says Certificate of Ownership, State of California,
Sherman Oaks.
Of Motor Vehicle. Where does it say Sherman Oaks?
It says Sutton Street, Sherman Oaks, and right above the 130. In the middle. Yeah. Right there.
Oh.
We're gonna have to go check that out.
This was my mom's shirt, so thank you, Mom.
Oh, it looks like it has an address on it.
It's probably James Dean's address. Maybe. James Dean.
We're gonna have to go take a drive.
Such a handsome man.
Oh, that's a cool shirt. I like it a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, America's the greatest country on earth. America's the greatest country on earth. I'm so proud to be American.
We're so proud that we even have
Yeah.
a constitution here.
Every year I get older, I get more and more proud to be American, and I realize how much America's the greatest country on earth.
Yes, it really is, especially when you read the Constitution.
It's the greatest document.
It really is. I wish we'd abide by it a little bit more closely. I don't view it as a living document. If you wanted it to be a living document, that's what the amendment process is for. We can add to it, but that's why it's difficult to add to. Alex and I were just looking at this before we got on here, and we realized that the last amendment, which is the 27th Amendment, is older than both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So
they've only added 17 since the Bill of Rights. And
yes.
For those of you who don't know, the Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments.
Yes. But if you're American, we hope that you knew that. But so, maybe we're due. I don't know what we're due for, but maybe we can enshrine literally what I was about to say, a voter ID law into this. Although hopefully that gets passed, but it's been way too much trouble to try to get that passed, which is one of the things that we were just talking about is why is it so difficult to get the legislature, Congress, both on the state legislatures and then also at the federal level. Why is it so difficult and they spend so much time? It's like they love to talk about taxes and enacting new taxes, but for instance, daylight savings and getting rid of it, right? Everybody's in agreement on it. Both sides are, but I don't remember if it died in the House or died in the Senate, but I think one of them passed it and then it died in the other. How is that hard? That should take an hour of time. Yeah. It should basically just be a vote. Talk about inefficiency. So that is the stuff that really drives me crazy. And so the SAVE Act, they need to do this talking or standing filibuster, but it feels like it's not happening. I can't wrap my head around this. We need voter ID. I think we were both saying that we thought that California would turn red if citizens were the only ones voting and if it was actually being checked.
Legitimate.
I don't think that this state would be as blue as people think it is. So I guess the other thing we could talk about too is the Trump tariff situation.
Yes.
So there was a ruling, and I didn't read it, I'll admit that struck down some of Trump's tariffs. They're the ones that were enacted.
The Supreme Court struck down.
Yes. It was the ones that were the tariffs that were created under the IEEPA, which is the International Emergency Economics Protection Act. Sure, we'll go with that. And I haven't read it, but I saw that Clarence Thomas was dissenting. And generally speaking, I mean, not 100% of the time, but I normally fall on the Clarence Thomas side. So I should probably take a read at that. I know people love to hate on Clarence, but...
Did people just start hating on him because HBO released that docu-movie about Anita Hill?
Potentially. The Anita Hill thing was always like a tarnish, I suppose one could say. But then there's a great documentary about his life that used to be on Amazon, but I think they took it off. And he had a really interesting upbringing, came from nothing, worked his butt off. I think a really good relationship with his grandfather. He talks about the hard work. I think at one point had more liberal ideologies and talked about kind of moving the needle. I think another person that's similar to him is Thomas Sowell. Writes a lot of. He's an economist who I think he works at Stanford. He's quite old now. He might be like 90, so he has a bunch of books that are pretty interesting. Anyway. Oh my gosh, there's one. It's got like a funny title. It's like Black Redneck White. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look it up. But he always has good commentary on They're both Black conservatives, right? And they have interesting lives on how they got there. And a lot of people like to hate on Clarence Thomas, but people also say he's the one that is talking to everybody at the Supreme Court. He is the one that knows the janitors' names and is the most endearing. So, and he often writes so that the layperson can understand, which I think is important. Not overly complicated. He's a textualist, so he sticks to the text of the Constitution, which I personally think is important. But that's that. I haven't. There are other ways for Trump to enact tariffs under other acts. So this is only in relation to that one act. And I think the big question on the table is, does he have to repay the tariffs that have been collected?
Nah.
That's what I was thinking too.
Nah.
So
are we going to get repaid for those $9 billion?
I think it would go back to the businesses, I guess.
Yeah. Is Somalia going to pay those back to us? The country? That's where that money went.
Literally. It went everywhere except into the right people's pockets, which is what our boy Nick Shirley keeps uncovering.
Shout out to Nick Shirley. Shout out to Spencer Pratt. They're the ones uncovering all this dirt and even more dirt every single day. They're finding the fraud. They're flushing them out.
And Spencer Pratt was talking about how his case is moving forward. I think it's in the Superior Court of Los Angeles. They had a stay on discovery, but I believe that that's been lifted. So they should be able to open discovery. But they've already uncovered enough documents pre-discovery. I think you sent me the clip of where the fire department was actively trying to cover up Karen Bass's reputation, and they were concerned about her reputation.
Yes, they were concerned about her reputation and possible liability.
Exactly.
And the Palisades fires that burned down tens of thousands of homes, none of which have been rebuilt. And it's very sad if you drive through the Palisades.
It really is. I've only done it once, and I just got a brief glimpse, but it's apocalyptic.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's been over a year, not a single home is in the process of rebuilding that was burnt down from the fires.
It's pretty bad.
Let me tell you something. So my parents, before they got divorced, my parents built their dream home when I was a child, and they basically had to clear the house that was standing there and then just dig and dig and then build the house. Why did that take 10 years to do? Try building anything in California, even without all the backup with the fires. It's very hard to do. There's just so much code, so much red tape to jump through, so much bureaucracy. It's almost impossible to build a home.
Which I feel like just smells like there's something corrupt behind it, because then you do see new buildings. You do see, I do wonder, because people do build, but then it does seem like houses take a long time, because even when you drive down some of the main roads and you see that house, you've been building that for 4 years and it's not that big. And you're like, that doesn't really make any sense.
It should not take more than 5 years from an empty lot to build a home. Just like a normal
I don't even think it should take a year. Even I get some of these crazy custom builds, I guess. But even if you're doing something that's slightly custom, I can't imagine waiting more than a year and a half for a freaking house that you're paying for.
I think it's going to take more than a year and a half, but I don't know. But
how hard is it actually to build a house? Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
I think it's a bit harder than you think. I'm going to disagree with you there on that
one. Okay, how hard is it to build a house?
Well, okay. There's just a lot that goes into it, other than the permits and planning and all that. You have to get an architect. If you want a nice home, you want to design it from scratch. An architect, you need an engineer, you need them to work together, and then you need a contractor, and that contractor gets a bunch of subcontractors to do the work, and then you need materials and people to come in, and then interior design and blah blah. There is a lot that goes into it, but it should not take more than 5 years, in my opinion, for a really well done house.
I couldn't even imagine waiting 5 years. I would just...
But anyway, someone said a while ago, after the fires stopped, that it was going to take 10 years. I was like, no way. For every house to come back, it's going to take 20. Because you have to remember, the Palisades, it's hilly, and it's just about every single home next to each other. There's going to be so many trucks coming in and out. Someone even suggested turning the Gelson's or whatever lot into a cement mixing area, because otherwise you have to go to and from the valley. The cement's going to dry and harden, and in the traffic on the 405.
Yeah, that might actually make some sense to have a centralized location for the...
No way it's taking 10 years.
But somebody's got to be in charge and make these decisions and have a strategy, and I'm not getting the sense that we're even close to that. The problem is we don't have anybody competent to even try to take over. The lack of competency is one of the biggest issues that I see. But maybe Spencer Pratt can turn this around. I really hope he can.
I really do believe in him. I believe in Nick Shirley, and I do believe California has a good chance at turning red.
I would love that. I just really think that we need voter ID, and I cannot comprehend people that try to tell this lie that it is somehow too hard to have something to prove your citizenship. Like that. It's just, and then people are like, well, not everybody has a passport, and then they act like getting a passport is hard and expensive. It's $100 and some odd, and it's good for 10 years. So if you amortize that over the 10-year period, what is that?
I don't think they know what amortize.
But you all do, because you're smart if you're watching
smart.
this.
You're part of the blonde majority.
So it's just all of this BS that people act like. And if you can't figure out how to do these things, the idea that you should be voting, it is crazy to me. That's why we have a representative democracy, so that we can't vote on everything, because not everybody can be knowledgeable enough to vote for everything. And truthfully, if you can't figure out how to get your basic documents in order, you probably don't even, I'm sorry, but that might sound rude, but you have to have some sense.
Hot take. We love my hot takes here.
What is
hot
it?
take? This is from that guy on TikTok. What's his name? Davis Jones on TikTok.
He's wonderful.
He's amazing. I love him. This is his hot take. I'm presenting it as my own, but his hot take was essentially people on welfare should not be able to vote because it's a conflict of interest.
Actually like that take a lot. That's the first time I've heard it.
Really?
But that actually makes a lot of sense. It is a conflict of interest. Why has nobody else ever phrased it like that?
Because they want people on welfare to vote for them.
Right, because it's effectively paying for their vote.
Yeah. Also, I saw this TikTok recently that the share price of Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Frito-Lay's has gone down a bit because young people aren't drinking soda or snacking on chips. I like to snack, but I try to not do on Doritos. And
people
also,
are using healthier alternatives. Yeah. They're learning about them more. And honestly, they're learning about them more from social media.
And because RFK Jr. flipped the food pyramid upside down, and they're like, no more government subsidies to buy a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola.
Or you're seeing that Roundup chemicals are in some generic breads that you see at the store. And then there was something else that I don't know if this is true or not. I don't. That we're saying like Girl Scout cookies also have this Roundup type chemical in them.
I believe it.
I kind of do too. I've been really curious with the Girl Scouts of America because I don't know if you've seen the little girl. She's so cute. Her name's Pim and she's gone super viral. Young girl selling Girl Scout cookies makes a TikTok. Support my troop because you can buy them through a link right now.
Oh.
I think she's sold, the last time I checked, $700,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies. Whoa. Which then I'm like, wait a second. This is free labor. This is like having a salesperson.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Aren't they delivering? Who's delivering the cookies?
I'm like, but you have free salespeople. Like, if you worked for a company and like somebody did $700,000 of sales in 2 weeks, you'd be like, oh, I love you. Here's a raise, right? But like, this is I don't know how old she is. Let's call her 7-year-old girl who's part of troop whatever in Pennsylvania. And I'm sure her troop gets some money or something. I don't know. I was never a Girl Scout. But like, what? Makes me scratch my head. And I'm like, what's going on here? Do we all need to wake up to this? And I didn't realize there's 2 bakeries in the whole country that make all the Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they're not identical.
Oh, so one place could make slightly different.
Yes, and so some other TikToker was telling me, like, make sure you buy from a troop that gets their cookies from this one because this is better.
How are you supposed to find that out?
I don't. Literally don't know. But it sounds like there's a way.
My mom was the cookie mom when I was
I don't even know what that means because I was never a Girl Scout.
Oh, it means that my mom and I, we would go to the Girl Scout in San Diego, whatever, and then we would pick up all the boxes.
Oh.
Big cardboard crate boxes of Thin Mints and Samoas.
Oh, see, I never had any of these experiences. I've purchased Girl Scout cookies before.
So then we would put them in my mom's car, and then we would grab them back to the house, and then unload it, and then we would sort them. So then all the girls would come pick up
what they ordered. People had ordered. It's so interesting because I never really put it in the Mary Kay basket before. Makeup.
No, Girl Scouts is not MLM.
Because you're doing it for free.
No. But anyway, it is important to eat very healthy and organic.
Yes, yes. And I think more people are turning towards that and realizing it from social media, and they're seeing these things. And I also think that there's just more of an understanding of the impact on you from a health standpoint and also just from a wellness standpoint, because
Yeah.
it's like how you feel every day when you
Yeah.
eat these things.
People are tired of looking fat. They want to look hot.
Well, yes,
And
there's
whatever
that
hot
too.
means to you.
But also just having more energy or not consuming something that's going to make you feel lethargic and not want to get off the couch. In a way, it's like a form of poison, and I think that they've known that they've been putting like addictive chemicals in these things, and I hope we're putting an end to it.
I hope so too. I am very hopeful for the future of this country and for the state of California. I've never been so hopeful in my life for where I live, in state and country.
I'm a little bit nervous. I just feel like they keep stealing elections. So.
I was very nervous on election night. I was very scared that Kamala was going to win. But then Trump won. I was like, did we do it? Did we win? And it was exciting, but it was also relieving. I feel like everybody was holding their breath for the last 4 years and people relaxed. There was a big tipping point. It was Trump winning, it was the LA fires, and then it was Spencer Pratt doing everything he could to expose the fraud and corruption in LA, and it was Nick Shirley exposing all the fraud in Minnesota.
Yeah, I really hope that everybody is like, we hope we see justice on all of these things, because if we don't, then it only perpetuates it. Even if people are being chastised in the news about it, that goes away. But you know what? Going to prison, that's actually a deterrent for other people. And really, I just hope that things become more efficient from a legislating perspective, because the fact that we can't get the SAVE Act passed or even daylight savings, I think is a really good example. It's bonkers to me, and it shows that there's a true problem. And I don't know, I love our Constitution, but maybe we do need a few amendments that lay down the law on some of these things. And I have been saying I don't think that the legislature should spend more than like 1 day a year on taxes. You cannot keep imposing taxes. If my company could just make more money because every day they decided to talk about, oh, we're just going to charge our employees more, I'd be like, nobody would work there anymore. That's how I feel about that.
That's why people are moving out of New York and California.
Well, that Mayor Mondani has proposed an increase in the property tax in New York City, and it hasn't passed. But my gosh, he wants to give everyone free daycare. So I think he realizes he doesn't have enough money. So
no, he doesn't have enough money to do all the excessive spending he wants to do. There's plenty of money, but he wants to dip into the rainy day fund of New York City that they've only used during the 2008 crisis and COVID times, and he thinks 2026 the times are equivalent to that, to dip into the rainy day fund.
And then increase taxes on people. He's just going to ruin that city, which is just such a shame, because I love New York City.
Yeah.
But in his free grocery stores, I don't see any free. I saw Polymart did a pop-up, but that was Polymart. That was marketing. It was in the West Village. So
I love capitalism. It's only in America when you can go grocery shopping for ice cream. I was looking for a pint of ice cream because I had a rough week and I just wanted some ice cream. They didn't have the flavor I had.
What did you want?
Do you know the brand McConnell's?
Yes.
My favorite brand of ice cream. Anyway, they make a flavor called double peanut butter chunk. It's very good. It's like vanilla ice cream with like chocolate and peanut butter in it. It's so good. It's my favorite. Anyway, they didn't have it at the grocery store. I went to a normal person grocery store, not Erewhon, because I'm a woman of the people.
Does Erewhon sell it too?
No, they only sell the only organic flavors of that brand. And I guess something isn't organic, which is a shame, but I don't really eat ice cream that much. Anyway, so I ended up buying something else, and I was on the phone with my mom in the grocery store, and I was walking up and down the frozen aisle. I was like, how can people look at a grocery store in America and be like, I know what, socialism will make this better?
I don't think socialism makes anything better.
That's what people think, though.
They think
that socialism
yes.
or communism. They think communism will make this better. Who was like that Russian guy? Was it Gorbachev? Someone else? Anyway, this Russian political guy, he came to America, visited a grocery store, could not believe his eyes at all the abundance of groceries and produce throughout the whole grocery store. He couldn't believe it. He's like, take me to another grocery store, because clearly this is a setup. This isn't real. They went to another grocery store. Same thing. So much abundance and produce and other food items. He couldn't believe it.
And food is essential. It's not even, it's a necessity. It's not some extra thing that...
Yeah. Socialism and communism will ruin grocery stores and everything.
I think it makes it worse for everybody, but they think that it's making it better for the collective, and then it does the opposite. They think that they're going to get rid of billionaires, and then they're just going to have this elite class at the top, no matter what, that's like in charge of the socialism.
Socialism eliminates the middle class. You either get pushed down or you get pushed up. Very few people get pushed.
You should be really lucky, I guess.
But then you're not that far from being pushed down.
No, exactly. I think that's how a lot of corruption happens, and then you're at the will of the corrupt.
America's the only country in the world where you can start with almost nothing and then become a billionaire or a millionaire. You can change your story. You can change your family's story. You can't do that in every country, but you can do that in America. That's why I'm proud to be American.
It does feel a little bit less hopeful than I think it used to be, because it seems like there's a circle at the top that's interconnected.
I think there is, and I believe and I hope that they're on their way out.
Me too. I hope that they're on their way out, because I think the important thing is that things are based on merit. You work hard, you create something that is revolutionary, you obviously deserve to win.
So I think people are sick of what's been going on for the past 10 or so years. We're ready for change.
It's amazing to me how, of all the people, how it's like these Somali daycares that are stealing all the money.
They got away with it for far too long.
I did not see that one coming. Although, I guess that I don't want to make a sweeping generalization. I'm sure there's wonderful Somali individuals that have come here and been helpful. It's just an unfortunate, these learning centers that are, you're definitely not learning anything. It's something.
They're definitely not leering anything.
When you can't spell it right, it's not exactly where you want to send your kids. So
yeah, it's okay. They can come to a Los Angeles hospice care facility.
Because we apparently have so many of those. And even though Florida has way more older people.
There are more hospice care facilities in Los Angeles than there are in the state of Florida. A state known for retirees.
Make that make sense.
Yeah.
It's just, some of those hospice agencies are so sketchy too.
Oh, as soon as the government starts subsidizing something, that's where the fraud goes up. That's where the expenses, the costs of everything goes up.
It's really quite unfortunate.
Is there anything else we want?
I don't think there was anything else on my list.
America's the greatest country on earth. We are coming back. The fraudsters, they're getting out.
Hopefully.
America, we're coming back. California is turning red. Thank you for listening to the Blonde Majority Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Katie. Please comment.
And we'll
subscribe
see you next time.
Yes.